We're going to have a real barn burner. iNTACT Esports up against Masked Esports. And I think we're getting started right now. We just had someone drop here from iNTACT, but let's give ourselves an opportunity here to talk about the teams. iNTACT sitting at 7-0 so far this season. Just came off a doubleheader on Tuesday with victories against both Las Vegas Minigunners and Reign. They only dropped 10 rounds total over that span, and only 10 rounds dropped over the last 3 as well because of the 16-0 victory against That's Toxic. Just absolutely tearing it up this season. I think iNTACT is playing their best season, or best CS ever right now. And they're really a force to be reckoned with that I think anyone in Advanced will have a tough time dealing with. Maybe anyone except Furia and Masked Esports. Now, both of these teams, both Furia and Masked Esports, are sitting near or around the top of ESEA Advanced. And Furia, speaking of Masked and Furia, they played each other a couple of matches ago, and Masked pulled off the most rounds against Furia that any team was able to do. At 14, 16-14 was the final score in that match. But anyway, let's get going here, guys. Round number 1 of the match. Masked Esports sitting at 5-2. They're coming in here with Black Ice, Hunter, G-Man, Delta 9, and Zoni. Note, Hunter is only in his second match of the season with Masked Esports. He was recently the one who replaced Clums, who left the squad after 6 matches. And Clums is having a pretty decent season for himself. He had 107 frags and 81.7 ADR, which I think was pretty high up on the squad. Second or third on the squad in terms of ADR in any case. Zoni going to walk in here. Hunter played for FYB last season in MDL. As Optimus waiting patiently here over at the B site. 4 members of Masked heading towards that B site. With one, that's Delta 9. Watching out what's going on around mid. Black Ice going to throw that flash in towards the site. Smoke coming in as well for CT. And here come Masked Esports moving in. Turismo's going to get the opening frag here over on Black Ice. Optimus could be greeted by a couple. He gets both. Looking for the third now on Delta 9. And he finds it as well with the dualies. Last one standing is Hunter. The bomb did get planted here. And now Swan should have an easy time finding this. He does. iNTACT going to come out with the first round victory. But the bomb plant, $800 plus $1,900. That's $2,700 going to the bank accounts of Masked Esports in round number 2. And they should, if they want to, they can run AKs here. Likely going to be in the next round. But you get a much stronger utility buy with that new economy. For those of you guys who don't know about the new economy, at the beginning of the half, if you lose, you get $1,900 instead of the full reset of $1,400. That's at both the beginning of the first half and second half. And that's why you probably are going to see a lot more rifles bought up by the CTs in round 2. M4A4 for Nox. Good nade thrown there. Did a bit of damage to both Hunter. Actually, 3 people. Hunter, G-Man, and Delta 9 going down quite a bit. Hunter at less than half health. Zoni going up the stairs here towards the CT apps. G-Man already jumped into window. See Shake here jumping around looking for information at Banana. Just jumping up and down continually here. What is Auto Director doing? There we go. Black Ice is checking out what's happening around mid. Both teams just hanging out, biding their time here. And Masked Esports is pushed up all the way up to balcony. And they're probably going to execute shortly here. A CZ, 2 Glocks, 3 Glocks actually, and a P250. They just want to get the bomb planted here at the A site. Swan will be there to greet them. He gets full blinded, and I don't know what's happening here. I thought Delta would jump down, but he didn't. Turismo finds one. Optimus and Swan get one as well apiece. And now Hunter does respond on Turismo. But it is a 3v2, actually. I was going to say 4v2, now 3v1. Masked Hunter goes down to Optimus, who gets 2 more to his name. 2-0 in favor of iNTACT. A bit of a strange round there. But Masked Esports do indeed fall. And here come the AKs. Full utility. And AKs coming in thanks to that bomb plant in round number 1. Anthem Halo saying in the chat, Hunter, Black Ice, and G-Man played on X Atmosphere in Season 27. Some cool information there from Anthem Halo. Thanks, man. Zoni is going to get dinked down to 53 HP, but does survive long enough to find Shake. G-Man, in the meantime, jumps up the window and gets Swan. So now a 5v3. Good start here to the round for Masked, but they do lose G-Man. 4v3 in their favor as Delta 9 spraying down towards window. Optimus jiggle peeking back and forth looking for some information. Over at the B side, he has 2 members of Masked charging up. That's Black Ice and Zoni. Turismo has picked up the op off of Swan's body. Oh, look at this flank by Hunter from CT. Went up Speedway, actually, towards B site and gets Optimus with a headshot. Now could get the rotating knocks. He does. Great play by Hunter. Getting in behind iNTACT. They didn't know he was there since Turismo was pushed up to window. And now it's a free B site and a plant for Masked Esports. It should be a round victory for them, and Turismo likely wants to save this op into the next round because looking at the economy, it's not terrible, but that op's going to help get a better buy-up for certain. Speaking of Hunter, he's got 3 MDL seasons. And like I mentioned, he was with FYB last season. As Zoni gets the frag over on Turismo. That's going to be that. Lots of MDL experience for Masked Esports. You got Black Ice, 2 MDL seasons. And it's his 5th season with Masked Esports. He's been with them since they were playing in Maine. Masked Esports actually no strangers to MDL themselves. They were there last year and the season before that. I shouldn't say last year, last season and the season before that. They did pretty well in their first season of MDL, 12-4. I say pretty well, that's really good. And last season, not so much, 5-11. And they got relegated to Advanced, as you can see right here. They dropped pretty much their entire roster. KRZ, I should say their entire roster from the last match they played in playoffs. KRZ, who's now in Maine at 7-0. Booby, not on a team. Oni-chan is on an open team, 7-0. And Smiley is not on a team either. So the only one remaining from last season is Black Ice. Masked Esports picking up their first round victory there in the 3rd round. iNTACT looking to strike back here, but perhaps it's going to wait one more round as they have 3 P250s, a Deagle, and a USPS in Nox's hands. 4-man stack over on the A side here. iNTACT taking a chance, and Shake over at B. Usually be Optimus anchoring the B site, but this time around, since it's a pistol round strat, it's Shake. Shake gearing up to throw this smoke grenade. He's waiting very patiently. Just wants to see a Masked Esports member. In the meantime, though, it looks like Turismo's engaging with G-Man. That was at window. Now G-Man just throwing some utility over onto the A site. They're trying to sell an A hit here. iNTACT, though, pushed up very aggressively. We'll figure out what's happening very shortly. See G-Man coming on back. He almost got caught out there by Turismo, but Turismo missing a shot. Now G-Man charging in. iNTACT has to know something's up as G-Man's the only one they spotted. 4 members moving into the B site, and Shake did in fact rotate over to A. Well, good job by Masked, at least pulling iNTACT off of that A site. There is one member here, G-Man, and I think that's why Shake is there. Turismo finds the frag. Swan also gets Hunter over in the B site, so not over yet. 4v3 and an AK in the hands of Turismo. Black Ice going to plant this bomb very shortly as Shake is going to move up, staring down at this smoke. Turismo trying to spray through it and hopefully connect on something, but does not. Still have 3 AKs to deal with. Oh man, and Swan gets domed immediately as he crept up from Banana. Zoni and Black Ice hanging out on the B side, trying to hold it down. They're joined by Delta 9, and Turismo does find one on Zoni. 3v2. Firing away now, are intact, but Delta 9 with the 2K spray down to the rescue for his squad. There were 2 AKs in the hands of iNTACT at that point. It could have gone very sour very quickly for Masked, but thankfully Delta 9 was there to clean up the rest of the iNTACT members standing on the site. So, tied up now, 2-2, heading into round number 5. So at the midway point last season, Optimus was doing pretty well for himself, but at 137 frags, 1.19 KDR, ADR of 85. But this season, 132 frags, 1.65 KDR, and 93.5 ADR. So he was already doing well last season, but he stepped up his game even further, and his stats tell the story. G-Man, Black Ice, and Zoni getting ready to go into this B site, perhaps. Hunter waiting with the bomb near underpass. This is going to be a good game, guys. No doubt about it. You got lots of experience in MDL for everyone on Masked Esports. And iNTACT, well, we've seen them play against MDL teams before, so they're no slouch against an opponent like this. G-Man working his way into the A site. Here comes the molly from Black Ice. Going to force Turismo back a little bit. Not by much. Flashbangs. A couple of them thrown into the A site now, and there comes the push. G-Man going to find one. Turismo gets a trade back with Nox, but Delta 9 finds a response. So 3v3. Turismo coming up from mid, can't find the head of Zoni. That leaves only Optimus and Shake who are rotating from the B site. Optimus, I think he heard something behind him. Likely did as Delta 9's in Boiler. Delta 9 finds one on Shake, then gets Optimus as well. Delta 9 on fire these last 2 rounds. That's 3 more to his name, 3-2 in favor of Masked Esports. So iNTACT, going to be on another save round here. In the chat, ZNFCS saying iNTACT need to push every angle more. Right? Play like it's a script. No, I think that's bad advice, CNF. Welcome to the chat, though. Nox with the CZ here in the apartments. Nox having his best match of the season. In match number 6. This Black Guys gets Optimus over at the B side, leaving only Shake there. Yeah, Nox is 25-10 against LVMG. Oh boy. Did Masked G-Man just go to his death? Oh goodness. Delta 9 gonna respond on with one on Turismo. Could get another one on Swan here. He just fell down and he ate it. Delta 9 still engaging here. Gets domed a couple of times from the P250. Or that was the USPS. It's Black Guys finding Shake. Nox creeping up here on Delta 9. He's gonna get that N and AK for his effort. So 2 AKs here for iNTACT. No reason to go for this retake. Save the guns. Bring them over. You need them. Give him that economy. And that's going to be that. Give me a little bit of a chance more to talk about Nox, though. As, you know, like I was saying, match number 6, his best match of the season. And that's similar to last season. He had a slow start this season as well. Had a slow start last season. And then midway point of last season, Nox, match number 7, he was 28-18 with 92.7 ADR. And in the match number 6 of this season, 108 ADR. So he's just one of those players who really hits his stride mid-season and starts off a little bit slow. And he's been contributing pretty well. His ADR is considerably higher compared to this point at last season as well. He was 58.8 ADR last season at this point and 70.7 this season. That's a huge improvement for Nox. Even though he has less frags by about 30, but that doesn't matter. Everyone else is doing the fragging. Not that important of a stat when you're 7-0. Anyway, Masked Esports do indeed pick up that round. 4-2 and iNTACT save the 2 AKs. That gives them the opportunity here to buy up the M4A4s and get the AWP running with Swan. So here they come again. Masked has really been working this B site. Finally, Swan making them pay early with that op frag on Hunter, but G-Man responds with one on Swan, so the op is down here. Shake and Optimus sticking to the B site here. And with that frag on Swan, that opened up a little bit of space at mid, and looks like Masked Esports are trying to take advantage of it. Nox gonna fire through the smoke, finds one. Oh, actually, that's Turismo boosted up, finding one on Black Eyes. Then Nox gets Zoni. Nox looking for more here. Wide peaks. Delta 9 can't find it. Turismo responds on G-Man. Here we go, a 3v1 iNTACT, trying to fight their way back into this match. Good job there, boosted up by Turismo, and Nox underneath him to get 2 very critical frags in the round, leaving only Delta 9, who's been very solid so far. And he's got an opportunity for a 1v1 with Shake here. Around the corner, Shake makes no mistake, gets the headshot, and iNTACT do indeed respond with a 3rd round victory. Masked Esports still up 4-3, and they should have enough money to buy up. Indeed they do. Get probably an AK dropped across the board. Bought up or dropped across the board. And iNTACT still has those 2 AKs brought over from 2 rounds ago. The M4A4 is bought up, and an op dropped for Swan. I think it was picked up off the ground in the previous round. Masked Esports G-Man charging up very aggressively here towards window. That nade did 60 damage to Turismo. He ate it, and G-Man finished off the job with the headshot from the AK. Black Guy's now down to 9 HP over a banana. Optimus gonna find him. 4v4. Damage onto Hunter as well. Zoni's trying to spray around the corner of that smoke. I think he might have seen Optimus go towards logs. Now throws in Molly. That was aimed for the logs, exactly where Optimus was, so he did spot him out. Optimus down to 48 as a result, and we're sitting at a 4v4. Swan staring down towards mid here. And these teams are trading blows. Trax in the chat. I start slow, mid-season slow, ended slow. I got consistent going for me. Indeed you do. Here we go. On the A side, Optimus going to find one as G-Man drops down from balcony. Gonna get a response here from Delta 9. Nox gonna have to defend, and Patio gets 2. He does go down to Delta 9, but Delta 9 is now stranded all by his lonesome against Shake and Swan. Swan locked in. Here's the bomb going down. Surprised not to see a wallbang coming in. Maybe he wants to keep his presence unknown. As he creeps around this corner, Delta 9 looking in the opposite direction. Oh my goodness, Swan missing the easy shot now, giving Delta 9 a chance at a 1v1 with Shake. Delta 9 gets it. Now Swan legs him down to 3 HP actually. Swan fakes the defusal. I didn't know he legged him since he pulled out the pistol. Swan still has to find this frag and get the defusal. Time is ticking away here. Almost at the 10-second mark. Here it is, 10-second mark. Swan finally spots out Delta 9 and just barely is going to get this defusal. Ooh, Swan could have gotten that frag earlier on, missed his shot. A rare miss, I would say, for Swan. Shaking his head, he knows what happened. Luckily for him, he was still able to recover and get that final frag and the defusal. So iNTACT do indeed respond for a 4th round victory, 4-2. It was at one point for Masked Esports, but iNTACT 2 in a row now, tied up 4-4. So Masked Esports now going to be on a bit of save. Here comes the run boost from Swan. I love that play. But no one in sight that time. Masked Esports are charging up aggressively here towards the B site. Optimus has the double op setup coming in from Optimus and Swan. Shakezilla boosted on top of the yellow boxes. Gonna find one, maybe two. There's two. Optimus burns G-Man alive, but now Optimus is by himself with the AWP. Black Ice and Zoni. With Zoni having picked up the M4A4 off the ground. 3v2. Optimus, oh man, I'm surprised he's not holding this angle. Oh, comes right around the corner. Just flicks and frags Black Ice. Doesn't even need to hold it. Now Swan trying to assist here, but he gets sprayed down to 27. Zoni, the last one standing for Masked Esports, has to pick up the bomb, get it planted, and find at least a couple of frags to open up some space on B. Doesn't have any utility to work with here, and given the economy of his team, I mean, they do probably have enough to buy up in the next round. He might go for this one. Spots out Optimus, sprays him down to 31. No Swan is around the corner as well. But Nox is an unknown factor here for Zoni, and that's who's going to get this frag. Nox coming around the corner from CT, and iNTACT do indeed take the 5th round and the lead in the match 5-4 in their favor. A good eco round there for Masked, finding a couple of frags. Could have saved the M4A4 as well, but as a result, Zoni only going to be armed with the CZ. 4 AKs do round up the buyout for Masked Esports, though. His 3 members are headed up towards mid, 2 of them at alt mid. Optimus going to have to back off here as that Molly blooms in front of him. Or maybe not. He was actually far enough away that didn't need to engage, or didn't need to disengage. Turismo going to engage with Delta 9. He gets the frag. G-Man responded on Turismo, and G-Man gets the second on Nox. Responded by Swan with the frag on him, though. 3v3. Black Ice, Hunter, and Zoni still standing here for Masked Esports. Trying to get back on the board here with a 5th round victory. Shake's going to have to push out a little bit. Gets ticked down to 68 HP. As all 3 members of Masked are now going to work together to get onto this A site. Look at Hunter, he's already there. Shake going to get Black Ice, but Hunter has site control. They don't have the bomb, unfortunately, as that was just dropped. The latest one. So Zoni's going to come on through. Spraying down at Arch. And the smoke's blocking off his view of the bomb. They don't have any utility left either. Hunter gonna find Optimus. They didn't expect him to be all the way on the site, and now a couple of 1v1s being set up here for Masked. Zoni gonna find Shake. That's a 2v1. Swan, the last one standing, and they can pinch in on him. Swan is staring at the A site, thinking, of course, that Hunter's still gonna be there, but now they smoked off the bomb, and they're making Swan second guess himself. Good play here by Masked. They pick up the bomb now, run it back to the A site. Hunter watching around the smoke. Ooh, Hunter, the timing not on his side there. Swan just couldn't connect on his opportunity. Now Swan looking for one on Zoni. He finds it. 1v1. Swan could do it here with the cannot though. Hunter getting the headshot, and Masked turning nothing into something there. Only had 2 members left against 4 iNTACT, or 3 iNTACT members. And yeah, just got the round victory with some pretty stellar play. 5-5, tied up, 11th round of play. And honestly, guys, I expected exactly this type of result from this match, or at least this type of scoreline. Especially considering, like I mentioned earlier, Masked getting 14 rounds off of Furia. The other undefeated team in advance. So Shake's going to push up aggressive there towards mid. Gets G-Man. Delta 9 trades it back on Nox. Looking for more on Shake. Shake going to get sprayed down, but oh no. Turismo is going to find Delta 9. In the meantime, Masked are making a move towards the B site. That's a smart play. Reading that iNTACT have already pushed up aggressively. Throwing all their eggs into pretty much one basket with that push up mid. Know that B is going to be weak, and indeed it was. 3 members still standing here for iNTACT, and they do have an AWP and an AK picked up off the ground, with Shake having this easy. So really, save the op in the AK. Shake can probably hang around and look for some exits. But he does have head armor purchased in this round, so maybe he wants to save his own. Oh, there we go. An AK on the ground that he just picked up. So that's going to be that. iNTACT's going to save these guns. Masked Esports going to pick up a second consecutive round victory in a row. And they really have Hunter to thank so far in this match. He's been pretty solid. 6 and 6. Actually, Delta 9 as well. 11 and 8. That previous round was an impressive display for Masked. Anyway, 6-5 in favor of Masked Esports. So iNTACT, their stats on the season are absolutely insane. At least coming into this match, you had the lowest ADR at 70.7 for Nox, but after that, 87.2 for Nox. 3 players above an ADR of 90. Optimus, 93.5. Shake, 90. And Turismo, who's been an ADR leader for the past 2 seasons, pretty much in every point, 102.8 ADR. G-Man. Well, he tried to do the same strat again with the nade, thrown through the window, and then coming out with the AK this time. But Swan is going to find him jumping up and down, trying to get in. That's a good aggressive play by Swan, who's often found in unorthodox positions with that AWP, but he makes it work. 5v4. Now Nox looking for one on Delta 9 and will get it with the CZ. Picks up an AK for his efforts. 5v3. iNTACT looking to respond once more here. Black Ice and Hunter creeping their way up mid with the lurk Zoni at B. Zoni's going to have to do a lot of damage here for Masked to get a little bit of an advantage moving to the A site. But now Hunter is going to find a frag on Swan. So 4v3. Optimus doesn't have the chance to rotate around and pick up a gun. And Zoni's making it difficult for them on the B site. He does go down. So now Masked, Hunter, and Black Ice are going to be rotating into 3 members on iNTACT. I think they were hoping that iNTACT would rotate over a little bit to the A site with that frag on Swan, but it's just not happening. Hunter looking for another frag with the AWP. Goes out, misses his shot on Shake. Now they're going to push out, throwing that smoke in towards CT. Shake hanging out on coffins all by his lonesome now. Turismo and Optimus looking for the boost up top over the smoke. Your Optimus going to get it, but Hunter finds a frag. Good heads up play by Hunter. And now iNTACT do not have any B presence. The B site in full control of Masked. They're trying to get it back. Turismo around the corner at coffins. Black Ice is watching it though. Black Ice going to get him. And now it's up to Shake and Nox. Shake hoping Black Ice is aggressive here. Indeed he will be. He'll spot him out. There it is. Shake going to make it a 2v1. Hunter, the last one standing, is position known by Nox. Nox gets him down to 73. He's going to get pinched in from both sides. Has to watch one angle. He picks coffins. Nox pushes up. He still manages to peek and find Nox. Now it's up to Shake, who gets him down to 14 HP. Hunter cannot be taken down. Finally. Oh my goodness. He hit that shot too. Shake down to 14 HP. Hunter manages to make it happen here. Going to be a round victory with the bomb explosion. At least all the guns out of Masked's hands, but I'm pretty sure Shake got legged through the box or something there as his health ticked down to 12. Oh goodness. Masked Esports do indeed come out with that round. Going towards that B site, even though it was stacked for iNTACT, they still managed to get on through. And it really came down to Optimus being spotted out there on the boost. They missed the boost on the first jump, and that's what cost them, as Optimus had to kind of wait to engage because of that missed jump. And he was spotted out by Hunter before he could do anything. So Hunter doing the damage again here for Masked Esports, and a couple of flashes thrown in Banana. Seven to 5 for Masked. Swan's trying to peek here over at Banana. Black Ice at logs. Doesn't spot him out, and I think Masked are just trying to make some noise here. Yeah, they're going to fall off Banana. 3 members of iNTACT playing at B, and for good reason. I mean, Masked has really been taking them, kind of just taking them to task, I should say, at that B site. Black Ice spamming through the smoke, and now they're going to regroup all the way over at A, and no one is at arch side or mid for iNTACT. Both Turismo and Swan, actually not Turismo and Swan, Turismo and Nox playing your pit. It's the right play, at least for the time being. G-Man's going to spray down Turismo to 61. Nox finds one with the UMP-45 over on G-Man. Hunter looking to trade it back. He gets one on Shake. Black Ice finds Nox. Then Hunter gets Turismo as well. A-site cleared until Optimus gets that frag on Zoni. And now it is a 3v1. Masked Esports trying to run away with this one. 3 consecutive round victories, even though iNTACT looked like they should have had a couple more so far. They kind of lost control of the last round when really it was theirs to win. The utility and the hardware weren't as good for them, of course, but still, given the situation, I think they should have had it. In any case, Masked Esports going to get another round victory here as Swan doesn't want to throw this op away. And it's going to be 8-5 in favor of Masked, so already securing the first half with that 8th round victory. Eski asking, why does Ali have a tree in his logo? Of course, Count on Twitch chat to ask the most important questions. I don't know. I'm guessing it was Christmas time last year, and he got really excited, added a tree to his logo to celebrate, and never changed it. Just wants to be a little bit unique. There you go, Masked Esports going to find their 4th consecutive round victory. iNTACT almost at the full loss bonus here, and they're going to need it heading into the next round. It's a bit of a save. Swan is going to have the op, a couple of Deagles, and a couple of CZs round out the buy, and they all have body armor. So a gun dropped on the ground here, picked up off a body of Masked. Could be important. Optimus going to find the opening frag on Hunter. A good Deagle shot, but gets traded out immediately by G-Man. Shake and Swan stacked up towards CT, and now Swan's trying to look over the smoke and get some intel. Shake inside the smoke himself. And iNTACT want to go for this one. You can see their heads full of steam. Shake already pushing up construction here towards coffins. Smoke impeding his view onto that site. Nox spamming the smoke as well, and here comes the utility. Good job by Masked, waiting to use it. Still have that one molly left, gonna throw it as iNTACT tries to push out from CT. Black Eye sprays down Turismo, but now Swan and Nox get a couple. Give themselves a chance, and Nox, oh my god, actually Swan, hitting Black Eyes to 7 HP over at Banana. Black Eyes desperately spraying down and still connects on Swan. Delta 9 back with one on Nox, and Black Eyes ends it on Shake with the shot on him. Black Ice with 3 on the round. What a crazy one that was. iNTACT looked like they were tilting it in their favor, but Black Ice desperately shooting through that smoke. And for him, luckily he was even alive because Swan connected on him through the smoke. 9-5 in favor of Masked Esports. What was that round? Excuse me, I'm losing my voice now. What was that round? I don't even know. But we're in the 15th and final round of play here, guys. Shake. Checking out what's going on at long here. Banana, excuse me. Banana gonna get that opening frag on Zoni. 5v4. Double op setup for iNTACT. 3 M4A4s round out their final buy of the half. I would say the toughest first half of the season here for iNTACT. First time they've been down, I believe, at the half. No, that's not true. They were down on Nuke as well. By a scoreline of 9-6, actually. So Shake gonna get mollied out of dark corner now as Delta 9 gonna come in. Shake does still find the opening frag on Black Eyes. G-Man, Delta 9 and Hunter respond for 3, leaving only Nox and Swan standing. They're over on the A site. That's B site cleared out in less than 5 seconds by Masked. Good coordination, picking their targets, making sure no one is firing at the same one. And now they hear Nox and Swan thunder stomping in towards the B site. G-Man gonna throw that molly into a smoke. Not gonna do any damage, but Hunter waiting around the corner, finds one, then flicks around to the smoke to get Swan as well. 3K for him. iNTACT down by a scoreline of 10-5 against Masked. So a good start to their CT side there. Or, excuse me, good T side for Masked Esports. Not the best CT side for iNTACT, but we'll see how they perform on T. It's a close one though, guys. Checking out the stats on the season, it's been pretty much Delta 9 across the board. 135 frags coming into this match, 22% of the frags for his squad. 1.19 KDR, an ADR of 84.8, and a headshot percentage of 0.253. That's 1 in every 4 frags being a headshot, and you saw that going down in that first half of action. Delta 9 sitting at 13-9. Hunter, who is also an important factor in the first half, 14-8. Over on iNTACT, still not too bad. I mean, now Optimus 13-11 and Turismo 10-13, but they're going to have to step it up here. And here they come on their opening round of this second half, charging forward with the Glocks up mid. No hesitation, tons of confidence. They will not be deterred. 2 members of Masked Coming in from apartments, but Turismo with a great flank on Zoni and G-Man. They don't even see it coming. And now there's only one member left on this A site. Trapped inside a moto is Black Ice. He's going to try and get out of here at some point. Waiting for those reinforcements to come around, but Optimus going to spot out Hunter. Delta 9 does get the trade. Sitting in a 4v2. Black Eyes coming out, looking and firing at Nox, but he can't get him. Delta 9 gets 2 though. Shake and Swan go down, looking for a third perhaps. Retreats momentarily, and finally Turismo with the 3K ends him. The response to Delta 9 coming in there. 6th round victory for iNTACT, and I would say a very important one on that pistol round. Masked Esports, because of that 1900 coming to their accounts, will be able to buy up in the 4th round, or 3rd round, excuse me, if they choose to do so. Black Ice. Heading out towards them. It's a full save for Mask, so yeah, the 3rd round buy up is inevitable. As 3 members of iNTACT charging up towards Banana, and Black Ice gets the opening frag, pushing up towards mid, gets Swan. So now it's Swan down. iNTACT scrambling to regroup. They're going to now execute over on this B site, trying to charge in. Smoke thrown for CT and for Coffins as well. G-Man boosted up on top of the white box. Is going to get taken down. Turismo burns Zoni alive. Nox finds Delta 9. Here we go. iNTACT rolling along now on the anti-eco. Black Ice and Hunter still remain. Hunter waiting inside that smoke. Maybe trying to catch him off guard. And he sprays Shake right on through it. Very accurate shots through that smoke as Black Ice trying to do some damage over at Banana now. He's got 10 HP. Hunter, not going to happen that time. He tried to sneak through that smoke. Nox expecting that, and Black Ice with only 10 HP and the USPS hiding an underpass, just looking for an exit frag. So that's going to be that. iNTACT going to pick up their 7th round victory and bring it back to only a 3-round deficit against Masked Esports. Black Ice just hiding here, hoping to find that elusive SMG or maybe even the AK out of Nox's hands, but Optimus going to find him inside of Arch. And iNTACT going to seal that one off. So Mask coming in with the buy up as predicted. Going to be a bit of a mixed buy though. UMP45, a FAMAS, M4A4, and actually 3 FAMASs coming out. They really want to make sure they have the utility. Could have gone for the M4A4s across the board, but would have meant a lot less in terms of smokes and mollies. As you can see, Hunter there using that utility right off the bat. Optimus, though, following up a flashbang with a frag on G-Man. Luckily for G-Man, Zoni was there to trade it. Now Shake trying to look over the half wall. Does indeed get the trade run on back, so 4v3. Masked have no one left on this B site, and soon Hunter will be smoked out at CT. I think he knows that. And he's trying to respond here with a smoke of his own. Ooh, that flashbang was not thrown the way Hunter wanted it to be. Then he walks into the molly, gets ticked down to 20 HP. There's a decent HE grenade, but he's going to go down to Turismo. MAC-10 spray down. Now it's up to Black Ice and Delta 9. Black Ice comes around, does find Turismo. 3v2. Nox waiting patiently over Banana. Look at iNTACT. Patience and poise amongst them. Don't push into the site in a panicked way. Shake finds a 2K at the end of that one, and that's going to be that. iNTACT do indeed get their 8th round victory, and Masked going to be on a save as a result of that force buy in the previous round. So, 10-8 in favor of Masked. In the chat, Mochilla saying, dude, finally a close game with iNTACT. I know, right? The next 2 games are going to be close. Well, this one including the next one. As tomorrow, Furia. I'm eagerly anticipating that match. As if iNTACT does win here, it'll be the last 2 remaining undefeated teams in advance facing off against each other. But Masked are certainly making a fight of it, more than making a fight of it, at 10-8 in their favor, in the lead. But look at that nade. It's, I think, 93 damage to Zoni since he didn't have the body armor. Unbelievable. Only 1 member left at this B site here. It's G-Man. Zoni, gonna find Shake. Good start here for Masked Esports on an eco. didn't really invest much into the round. If they can pick up that Mac 10, it could help. Optimus gonna fly out from Banana with a head full of steam, and he gets a couple G-Man and Delta 9 go down. Delta 9 does find Nox and makes it a 3v3. I think Optimus is just waiting for more to push in here. Finds Zoni. Now Swan on the site, looking around, back and forth, trying to clear out Coffins and CT simultaneously. Hunter creeping his way into construction. Black Ice is going to get Optimus. Wow, a 2v2 and an AK picked up for Black Ice. They're going to go for this one. Turismo has to get this frag. He does. Very important for him. And he gets the second one as well. 3 for Optimus on the round, 2 for Turismo. And Masked Esports do indeed fall on a round they invested very little in and took way more money out of the hands of iNTACT than they even put into that round combined. So that's a bit of a mission accomplished, I would say, for Masked, but iNTACT only 1 round down now, 10-9 in favor of Masked. In the chat, Furia winning 14-9 right now on Cash. So they have a match as well going on. They could be undefeated. Or, sorry, they could suffer their first defeat as well tonight. But they're in good shape. Swan going to get the opening frag. Turismo finds Black Ice as well. Hunter and Black Ice down quickly, but Delta 9 responds for his squad. 4v3 for iNTACT. It's a good start for them this round. Nox flies out of apartments, wide peeking that, and Delta 9 goes down. Just didn't expect that to happen, and Nox gets a second on Zoni. Nox rolling along now. G-Man finding Optimus, trying to get to this squad from T-Spawn. But G-Man's going to find him, pick up the AK. I think that's all he's going to get in this round. iNTACT looking to tie this one up. And the buy rounds for Masked on CT side have not gone well as of yet. They haven't even won a round so far in the second half. iNTACT looking for their 5th consecutive round victory. Welly CSGO in the chat saying Optimus is his favorite CSGO player. Or CS player. And that's a good choice. A very solid player on iNTACT so far in the season. Find Optimus to be less flashy in his play, more mechanically sound. So you might not often find him in highlight reels or things like that, but he gets it done very effectively. Turismo is probably the flashiest player on iNTACT. You're going to see a lot of highlights come in from him as he takes those chances, makes the risky plays, but you need a player like that. It's a nice little balance that iNTACT has across the board. Anyway, they tie it up at 10-10 here, guys. Masked Esports do pick up an AK off the ground. That's in the hands of G-Man, but they're going to be on pistols aside from that. Bit of armor bought up, only Hunter without the body armor. Everyone else has it. Now Shake, Nox, Turismo, Optimus, and Swan with 4 AKs and an op bought up. Checking out the scoreboard here, guys. Leading the way is Delta 9, 18-14, Black Ice 15-15, and Hunter 15-13. But I think the 2 players who are probably needing to step up their game here for Masked are Zoni at 8 frags and G-Man at 9. And that kind of has been how their season has gone. You know, 0.98 KDR in the season for Zoni, G-Man at 0.93. The lowest frag counts at both 109. And ADR for them sub 70, 69.1 and 67.3 for them respectively. So, perhaps the loss of Clums is hitting them now. I'm pretty sure I mentioned earlier on, but again, guys, Clums, after 6 matches, left the squad. He was doing well in the season. Hit 100 frags before both Zoni and G-Man. 107, 6 matches in. And ADR was 81. But, I mean, anyway, Optimus going to walk into the A side, finds Black Ice, then gets Hunter as well. This is on the anti-eco for iNTACT. Shake's going to get Delta 9, leaving only G-Man and Zoni. I think G-Man's just going to want to save this AK. As Zoni creeping on through. Zoni. Walking in here towards Boiler. Turismo spots him out. And as mentioned, G-Man just wants to save the AK. And that is going to be that. But yeah, what I was going to say was, even though Clums did leave, Hunter is more than a worthy replacement for him. The thing about Hunter is he wasn't even going to play CS this season. He was playing Fortnite. And was committed to it. But I guess CS came a-calling, and when CS comes calling, usually you answer. Because honestly, this game is just... there's something about it. Even when you go to another game, you try it, you just always find yourself playing Counter-Strike at one point or another again. As iNTACT going to pick up their 6th consecutive round victory on the half. No round victories yet for Maston. They're going to try again here. Going to have the full buy-up. iNTACT trying to win out here and prevent Mast from getting on the board again. Mochilla saying, nope, not a close game. iNTACT basically wins now. Oh, basically won now. Okay, come on. Let's calm down. A lot can happen. As Hunter playing around mid here with the op. Double op setup coming in, but there's Swan opening things up at the B side in the first 15 seconds. Zoni is down. G-Man picks up the op and tries to recover here with a potential trade. Swan jumps around the corner. Oh, wow. G-Man had a clean shot on Swan. Just moved a little bit too much and went behind that wall, resulting in Swan staying alive, at least for the time being. Both Swan and Optimus down to 17 HP. G-Man try and get a position for a frag here, but walks right into a molly, has to back off from the charging iNTACT member. Swan does go down to a nade, but unfortunately G-Man does not find a frag on the round. After it was a pretty promising start, Black Ice through the smoke hits a pretty nice shot off this on a common plant spot, and now Shake's going to try for the plant at the exact same spot. This time Black Ice doesn't try to spam it, and the bomb gets planted. Shake going to re-smoke CT right now. All three members of Mass trapped around, actually 2 members trapped around CT. One Black Ice is already pushed up from construction. Black Ice gonna do more damage on the round. Already has 2. Looking for a third, but Shake boosted up on top of the yellow box, finds a double. Turismo gets the last one, and Masked Esports just like that fall in the round 12-10 in favor of iNTACT. Heading into round number 23 now. The match has been paused. Likely Masked gonna talk things over and try to get their ducks in a row. They just want to find a round victory here in the second half. They do have the full loss bonus coming in every single round, and G-Man at 9,200 will be able to buy a first team. They're deciding, yep, it's going to be a force buy. Won't have the best of utility for Hunter, Black Ice, and G-Man, but still the utility for Delta 9 and Zoni will hopefully help them out there. So iNTACT looking to go 8-0 on the season. I think Furia, last checked, was up 14-9 on cash. They're looking to go 8-0 on the season as well. The last 2 undefeated teams fighting to remain so. Duke it out against each other to find out who indeed will find or will lose their first match of the season. Hey, Win, welcome to the chat. As Zoni waiting on the B site to greet Turismo, Shake, and one more member of iNTACT behind Shake. As Nox joining them as well. And all 5 members of iNTACT gonna skirt their way towards Banana. Only 2 members of Masked waiting on this B site, but they've got a crossfire set up. Sony and G-Man. G-Man playing right on Fountain. Probably back off the new box shortly. Smoke hits Zoni. Flashbang successful that time around for Masked. Off the wall. Nox gonna open things up on G-Man. G-Man burns alive. Burns Nox alive, but Turismo trades it back on Zoni. And that's gonna be that. Black Ice gonna have to rotate around with his other 2 teammates who are still waiting on the A site. Both Hunter and Delta 9 have not even made a move here. Finally, Delta 9 is kind of creeping towards Library, but they want to do the 3-man save. Looking at the economy, not a bad call. iNTACT just rolling along here in this second half. Going to be a 13th round victory for them. It was 10-5 at one point for Masked Esports, but iNTACT looking to avoid disappointment here and lose their undefeated streak in ESEA. I think they're 28-0 now, guys, since last season. This will be 29-0 in ESEA match play. Bomb going to explode. iNTACT going to take a 3-round lead for the first time in the match. Checking out the scoreboard for iNTACT, it's Turismo at 22-15, Optimus at 22-16, and then in third is Shake and Nox tied 15. Swan, I think the first time this season that he's found himself at the bottom of the scoreboard at 12-12. Not his best match, but he's got permission to take a night off. He's almost always on point with that AWP. He's had some good shots, though. I shouldn't take that away from him. And on the season, Swan with only 7 multi-kill rounds. Yeah, it's Turismo who leads the way with 18 rounds. 18 3K plus rounds so far. Last season at this time, I believe Swan had far more. He had a lot of 3K, 4K clutches, some of those in 1v4 situations, but hasn't really had to do so this season. I'm sure he's not complaining. Swan and Shake gonna come up from mid there. Flashbang thrown by Optimus towards the B side on Black Ice and G-Man. And Optimus doing a good job of selling the B hit. He's gonna continue moving along here and maybe try to find a frag as the rest of his team rotating or moving into the A site. There's the rotate coming off of A in the form of Zoni. Now figured out something's going on. He's backpedaling. And there comes Optimus to join his teammates. He does not commit to the hit on B site, but leaves Masked Esports questioning themselves on B. And even Zoni's not too sure where he's going to end up. Finally goes through library and heads back onto the A site. 45 seconds left for iNTACT to make a play here. Here it comes. Smoke's coming in for apartments and for Arch. Shake and Turismo moving on in. Turismo does get flashbang. Good flashbang thrown by Zoni on the A side. Zoni playing backside. Shake gonna get flashed. Hunter finds Turismo. Zoni looking for Shake. We'll get him. Shake put himself in a really bad position there. Delta Knight gets a double. Hunter finds a second on the round as well, leaving only Swan. And there it is, finally. Masked Esports pull it together, get an 11th round victory, don't lose a single member on their squad. That's great for their economy and for their confidence. iNTACT finally lose a round here in the second half. But looking, oh, we can't see it on ESEA because reasons. iNTACT, of course, picking up 8 rounds so far in the second half, only 1 for Masked. And now, the reason that's good news for Masked that they saved all their guns in this round is because if they get fully reset, they still will have a bye in the following round. iNTACT, 4 AKs and an AWP bought up. Usual buy for them with all the utility they'll need. In the chat, Twiz asking, who did Hunter replace? It was Clums. Turismo, I think you already got your answer. You did. I'm late to the game. Turismo walking up here from mid. Zoni, probably looking to throw some utility. Doesn't. Pulls out the gun, looking to engage with Turismo, and does make the right decision by pulling out the AK. Turismo goes down and throws a molly to perhaps push off the advance by iNTACT. Turismo was indeed kind of a lurk. He was supported there by Shake and Nox. iNTACT trying to play the mind games with Masked at this point. IGL on iNTACT is Shake Zilla. Calling the shots here on their T side. Rich, their coach. Spectator. And Rich will be playing in the WESG close qualifiers for iNTACT. For those of you who aren't aware, Turismo will be working at that time. It'll be interesting to see Rich come in. He was in the main playoffs last season. But, big shoes to fill in terms of ADR for Turismo and fragging ability, of course. G-Man down to 58 HP and Zoni down to 46. G-Man gonna find the opening frag. Zoni gets one as well, but here comes Optimus. Oh man, 2 members stacked up over at New Box. That's trouble for Masked. They're gonna lose one. G-Man comes through the smoke. Actually, G-Man, that was from New Box, getting a couple there, and they do indeed survive. So maybe it didn't spell as much trouble as it could have been since G-Man waited patiently, had good trigger discipline, gets the 3K, and Masked Esports win their 12th round. So, for those of you thinking, oh, it was over, iNTACT has this. No, no, no. Not even close. iNTACT up 13-12. Their lead cut down to 1. And they still will have enough money to buy up here. I mean, look, Swan still has 11K in his bank account. But they're facing off against the Masked Esports team that will not say die after losing their 5-round lead. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Press 1 if Fortnite is greater than CSGO. What? How could you? No. You guys are traitors. Anyway, 26th round of play. And full buy-ups coming from both squads. Lots of information gained by Hunter there as he saw iNTACT charging up towards mid. A little bit of aggression from Masked as well, throwing a couple of mollies down at Banana. Optimus trying to respond here with the HE grenade. It doesn't connect on anyone though. A little late. And Masked back into the B site once more. Look at Shake though. pushed up arch side, hiding around the corner. Good spot out Zony, he does. Zony gave away his position, gave Shake a chance to fly around that corner and find the frag. Hunter and Delta 9, though, respond with a great hold over at Truck, getting both Swan and Turismo. Optimus going to have to back off here shortly. He does find one before doing so, but Black Ice trades him out. 3v2 for Masked and bomb control in their favor. Shake throwing a flashbang, but the smoke from Nox is going to have to come in shortly here to smoke off the bomb and pick it up. Masked have eyes on there. Here comes that smoke as mentioned. Aegis grenade in response. Knocks down to 57 HP from that nade. And then a great molly thrown, and Delta 9 flies out from Apps on the flank. Gets shaken, Nox. That's an awesome play by Delta 9. Waited for the smoke to be thrown, threw a molly in response to prevent iNTACT from going towards the bomb and picking it up. And then Delta 9 all the while sneaking up from apartments, CT apartments, over to balcony, getting both frags before iNTACT knew what even hit them. So Masked Esports tied up 13-13, 3-round victories in a row, 8-3 on the half. And we've gone down to a best of 4 here, guys, in regulation. Some pretty high quality CS being played here tonight, as would be expected of two teams who are considered to be MDL caliber. Timeout. Gonna expire here. And guys in the chat, let me know if that Furia match is over, please. I'm curious to know the final score. 27th round of play. Masked Esports looking to defend these sites successfully for a 4th consecutive round. Delta 9 over at Pit. Man, he's been a force. 23-16 so far on the match. Finding himself at top frag. For the first time in 4 matches, actually, it was Clums. Actually, no, he did have top frag tied with Black Ice and Zony in the match against Furia. They were 22-18 for both Zony and Delta 9, and Black Ice was 22-21. So the top 3, I would say, on Masked Esports, all contributing in the Furia match. But here we are against iNTACT, and again, Masked Esports trying to upset an undefeated team. Furia winning 16-9, so they move to 8-0, undefeated still. It's far from over here. Nox gonna go down right off the bat as Black Ice finds him. G-Man does stand in the molly down to 70. Actually, now taking away to 48. Turismo looking at the A site finds one. Now he's going to rotate to help support his team over at that B site. Optimus going to get Black Ice, leaving only G-Man again stacked up at New Box, and G-Man again finding Shake. They cannot shut him down here at New Box. Finally do. Optimus getting that headshot, and they have control of the B site in a 3v2 scenario. Hunter and Delta 9 both rotating around from Banana. Only that smoke left as utility. And I think Turismo is going to probably wish that he would have held on to that and thrown it at Banana instead. Swan going to find the frag over on Hunter, though, and then he gets a double on Delta 9. Swan coming out, waking up at the right time in the match. 14-13 for iNTACT, responding after 3 unanswered round victories by Masked Esports. So now iNTACT, 1 round away from clinching at least overtime. Swan with those 2 frags, jumping to 14 on the match, but he was, like I said, up until probably that point, hadn't really found a couple of consecutive frags in the match so far. But what matters is the W. And iNTACT doesn't care how it happens. They just want to push to 8-0. Turismo, Shake, Swan, and Optimus all grouped up here towards Banana. They're going to be joined shortly by Nox. And Turismo's lining up the smoke here for CTS. Smoke in response from Masked right off the bat. They're going to have a full buy again. Black Ice and G-Man do get the opening frags on Turismo and Shake. And that's going to tear apart the B push here for iNTACT. Optimus managed to sneak through the smoke and get Zony. Could find a second one on G-Man as well. But G-Man with his wits about him, a 3K on the round. G-Man must have heard what we were saying because he's been lights out for the past 3 rounds. Look at that jump to 17 frags. He was at 9 at one point, has had 8 And I think the last 5 or 6 rounds, now it's up to Swan in a 4v1 with 3 HP. And you'd think he'd want to save this AWP. But no. He wants to try for it. It's going to be a hell of an achievement if he pulls it off. G-Man peeking around the corner, and G-Man with the 4K on the round. Masked Esports with a solid B hold. Largely in part thanks to G-Man. 14-14 tied up. This is either OT or 16-14 for one of these squads at this point, guys. iNTACT trying to remain undefeated in ESEA in both Season 28 and Season 29. G-Man and Black Ice around. A couple of nades down towards Man. Look at those mollies fly out as well. And iNTACT's on an eco round here. 2 Deagles, 1 Deagle actually, 2 P250s, and 2 CZs. This is not the buy they were envisioning in the round. And I think Swan's probably thinking that he should have saved that op into this one. So no money for them. They will have a decent chunk of change going into the next round. Only 1 player on the B site here for Mass. That's Black Ice. Perhaps knowing that iNTACT's economy isn't very good. Hoping this AK can hold the fort. They do have that 1 smoke, and it's going towards CT without a doubt. Turismo. Oh, dry peeking it. Turismo's going to dry peek. G-Man finds him. Black Ice comes to support. G-Man with a 2K. Make it a 3K. iNTACT dropping like flies in round number 29. Shake and Swan still standing. Swan just wants to get this bomb planted. That was the #1 objective going into this round. Get that $800 on the board, and that strengthens their buy in the next round significantly. Zoni wraps up the fragging, and Black Ice going to get the 15th round victory, but iNTACT with their backs against the wall. Masked Esports trying to prevent them from being in what would be a crazy matchup against Furia. 2 undefeated teams potentially at 8-0 on the season in advance. But if Masked Esports comes out with the victory here, iNTACT will of course not be able to retain undefeated status. 15-14 for Masked. 30th round of play. iNTACT, like I said though, that $800 critical to their buy. As instead of maybe having AKs and an op with very little utility, they have full utility for Swan, Nox, and Shake. Turismo has a smoke, so does Optimus, so that's 5 smokes to execute onto whatever site they want. They're talking things over now, making sure that everything has been decided going into this round. iNTACT Esports could find themselves on the losing end of a match in Counter-Strike and ESEA for the first time in 29 matches. Black Ice and G-Man heading towards the B site. A deciding round for both squads. Black Ice priming his HE grenade, and 3 members of iNTACT splitting up towards alt mid. 1 pushing up towards mid, that's Turismo. It's going to be against Hunter. He's holding the angle here. Turismo dry peeking it. Not using any utility yet. Hunter could get an easy frag here. Turismo comes out, and he does. Hunter finding Turismo in the early goings of the round. 5v4. Now Shake. Not going to throw a smoke yet, man. Dying with that smoke in your hands in that position. I don't know. 2 members pushed up for iNTACT. It's not over yet. Nox and Swan waiting in the apartments. Zoni and Delta 9 looking to greet them from pit. Shot fired from apartments. That's going to give away iNTACT's position up there. We've got 3 members stacked up, trying to execute their utility correctly. Our iNTACT biding their time. 45 seconds left in the round. Shake and Swan head towards Boiler, and Nox hangs out near balcony. Delta 9 waiting patiently here with Sony and Pit. We've got some reinforcements in the form of Hunter. 2 ops. Actually, only 1 op locked up here. Comes a molly onto default, so that gives Hunter, forces Hunter back. And Zoni burning alive in the molly. Zoni does find Optimus though. Nox trades it back when Nox goes down. Now it's up to Shake and Swan. Shake firing away at Hunter. Cannot find him. Now Hunter goes down, but Shake's going to face some pressure from our side. And still from Pit. They don't know. Delta 9's there. Delta 9 with the last 2 frags in iNTACT Esports. do indeed fall. This time, Masked Esports on the right end of a 16-14 scoreline gets an undefeated squad. iNTACT Esports fall for the first time in ESEA by a scoreline of 16-14. Who would have thunk it?